Hello fellow Total Warriors, I am Zardar and welcome to another online battle from Warhammer 2. So this one is a replay which was submitted by Wicked D, which is him against the almighty DAHV plays. Quite funny because DAHV is usually the one casting my replays, so it's the first time actually that I get to cast one of his, somewhat because it was Wicked which sent it, but yeah, it's close. Anyway. So we have Wicked over here playing as the Norsca, and DAHV plays is playing as Bretonnia, which is a traditionally somewhat hard matchup for Bretonnia, but as I can see from the army of DAHVs over here, he's really testing some new capabilities. Anyway, let's see first the army over here. So on this left flank we get some Marauder Horsemasters and some Norscan Ice Wolves. With a couple of Severons, as I can see over here. We also got a front line of just cheap Marauders from what I can see, and some spears on the flanks. Yes, that's right. Just one Marauder Hunter with javelins, two Frostworms, which is quite of a strong pick, I might say, against cavalry. And the reason for that is, if I remember correctly, I'm not playing that often Norsca, is because of this frostbite, minus 36% speed, but because of this also, which is a different ability, people think that it's actually the same one, that this is actually the frostbite, but no, it's different. So these two actually stack, so it's minus 72% speed just by engaging a frostworm, which is gonna be pretty rough for cavalry. For infantry fighting in the front lines, it's not a big deal. It's not like they have anywhere to go, right? But on the flanks or any other place with cavalry, it's gonna be really hard punishing. Over here we got Wulfric on his mammoth, and what does he got? Just the boat, the Seafang, the Hunter of Champions, of course. And that's pretty much about it. Another spear back here, another frostworm, and what does he get about magic? Oh, Summon of Death with, oh, I like this, the Purple Sun of Xerius, which is one of my favorite skills, if used correctly. If you mess it up, it's just a waste, a huge waste, but if you place this really nicely, it can do some work. Spirit Blitz as well, just to wear down any enemy lord, and some more Marauder Horsemen over here, along with the Beasts of Tasnar, which I think have anti-large. Yeah, they have anti-large, which is a regiment of renown. So I think that was the entirety of the Norscan force. Let's check out the Bretonnians, which is just peasant mob in the front line, three of them, 4 units of mounted yeoman archers along with the Wardens of Montfort. The difference with these is they apply poison, and yeah, they have a little bit better stats on melee and in general. Back here we get 2 hidden units. In general, DAHV has all his force hidden except his peasant mobs and his mounted archers. Yeah, over here we got the Defenders of Fled de Lis, which is a Knights Errant variant, and the Companions of Quanels, which is Questing Knights, if I'm correct. Yeah, Questing Knights. Over here we got 3 Knights of the Realm hidden, along with the Knights of the Lion-Hearted, the Regiment of Renown. And over here, is that Grail Knights? Yes, and another couple of Grail Knights. And for his leadership, quite a bizarre pick. He's got a Prophetess of Life with Earthblood and Regrowth. I'm not saying that the skills, the spells are bizarre. I'm saying that the choice of Lord is actually bizarre. Just before we begin, I find it a lot better if you go with debuffing. Nah, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna tell it into the end of the game. Anyway, let's begin. So, Wicked is just gonna start advancing forward with his army. DAHV plays has the mobility advantage at the moment because of all these massive horses that he's got. But Wicked is just gonna patiently advance forward, just trying to find any gaps. He's gonna see some units over here of Grail Knights, and he's just gonna pull out because, yeah, he just can't take that hit on. Some fires going on the Frostworm, and Wicked just dodging like a boss, trying to not get any unnecessary damage before the battle actually begins. These guys are getting on the flanks, on the left flank over here, because he probably knows that something is lurking in these shadows as well, and well, he's about to find out soon. So So the mammoth over here, I think he's overextending a little bit, and he has actually forgotten about his Saman Sorcerer of Death. But hopefully he's on a horse. If he tries to, if he remembers him, he's gonna be here fast. But yeah, this is a bad sign that you don't wanna forget any unit behind. I know this feeling because I usually tend to forget sometimes. So over here we get the Marauder Horsemen right off the bat, just charging this peasant mob, or were they caught? I think they just charged them, which was a really bad idea. But I think he was trying to get these guys out because of the because of the purple Son of Xerius that he's got. He's gonna be aiming for a nasty blob up over here, and also the breath. So he was expecting for this blob up. He actually sent them in order to do that, but he was quite unlucky. Probably the breath dropped on the wrong target. It's quite easy to just miscast it. You try to hit, like for example, the Quanel's flag, and you end up hitting the peasant mob, just the breath ending up going in the wrong place in general, which is not a good thing. The Frostworms drops, one of the two drops over here, just trying to fight off some Knights of the Realm. Are they Knights of the Realm? No, just the Fleur-de-Lis and Companions of Quanels, which I don't think they have anti-large, but still, they get armor piercing. They're really tough fighters, and yeah, they get Overwatch fire from these guys, and the other Frostworm is just flying on the air. Wulfric gets also into a nasty situation. He was in front of his main line, so he's not gonna have the backup of the Marauders over here to absorb most of the damage from these Grail Knights, and who else is in here? Knights of the Lionhearted. Actually, the Grail Knights are back here, but I'm pretty sure as soon as they smell some blood on Wulfric over here, they're just gonna collapse all to this side. So, I said it in the beginning, but Wicked is trying to actually... Okay, finally he remembered his Deathcaster, which is good news, because if he had a purple Son of Xerius over here, that would be amazing. Hopefully we're gonna get that. So yeah, Dev doesn't realize that he really needs to stay away from blobby fights, and yeah, he's kind of falling into that trap. As you can see, his Grail Knights are collapsing all onto Wulfric, like Wulfric and his Mammoth just have nowhere to go. The Frostworm is here, so all of these guys are slowed, so if he tries to disengage, he's not gonna be... Okay, yeah, he's kind of fast, but not that fast. Frostworm is applying that debuff on all of the forces, and just look at this, like every horseman available is on the field is actually here against Wulfric, and just trying to cut down some wolves. The wolves just try to come in here just to stop them from actually trying to disengage, which they are succeeding. And come on, a breath attack drops, which does some huge work against the Knights of the Realm, and the massive purple Son of Xerius is getting dropped by the Deathcaster, who just really came, and he just immediately breaks all these four forces of Grail Knights, Knights of the Realm. So immense gold just thrown off the bat. The balance of power was actually in the middle before this engagement, actually in the favor of Norsca, but as soon as it drops, it skyrocketed in the on the other side. So just one timely right spell actually turned the whole fight around, because Wulfric, look at this, he was going down, and the Frostworms were also getting dragged down real fast. Yes, they were applying slowness and other debuffs, frostbite, but in the end they were getting dragged down when they had the Knights in their faces, just poking them with their lances. But man, that purple Son of Xerius was just nasty. He's gonna manage to get a regroup over here just before the white line, which was quite of a lucky thing to happen. But the thing is that now his prophetess has broken. He was too busy realizing what the hell happened over here and how effed up he was. So he forgot just for a few seconds his prophetess over there, and the Frostworm was able to pick her off. Now I wouldn't send two Frostworms to chase her down. I would just send the most damaged one, keep the healthy one back into the fight, because he's gonna need it here. Like this could go like really sideways. I know the balance of power is massively over here against Dav's favor, but if Wulfric falls and the Knights can get a nice wrap around the Frostworms into a secluded situation, like all alone, no backup, then it's just cheap stuff remaining. There's nothing else. So yeah. There's gonna be a boat coming down over here, which doesn't do the most of the damage on cavalry, but it's actually quite enough to break these guys, because they get like literally zero health. And there's also a tide of marauders just dropping over here, just trying to provide the stuff needed to protect Wulfric. The prophetess is still being chased down. His mounted archers are trying to pick off one of the two frostworms, which is they're actually doing some good work. Like even with 70 armor, like 4 of these units shooting, actually doing something. But it's not gonna be enough. This frostworm is sure gonna not allow the prophetess to come back from the game, and rightfully so. You never wanna leave a unit that's really valuable to come back. And over here we get a final pit fight. The knights have come in to clash with the Chip Marauders, and Wulfric is gonna be riding his pimped his mammoth over here, so his big bad mammoth. And I think from here on it should be just GG. Like there's not much else into the fight. The prophetess is gonna go out, and the balance of power, the army losses penalties is gonna kick in, and that should be it. So damn nice. GG to Wicked. That was the first time I watched this replay. By looking at the balance of power and how Wulfric and his frostworms were going down, I was like, oh dude, come on, you threw that away. It was you could have won this. But then I see the purple sun, and I see all the cavalry just out of nowhere just vanishing, like 4 knights just breaking immediately with just 5% health remaining, and the other 2 that actually stayed and fight also get destroyed because like 4 of their unit comrades just broke, and they were left all alone. So the frostworm and the mammoth were able to just poke at them and just scare them off as well. So yeah, a massive turnaround. Like this is one of the few battles that that's really worth to say this was an alpha strike because of the purple Zan of Xerios. Wulfric did quite well with his mammoth, but I think he should have remained a little bit more defensive. Just wait for his chip crop into the front to get into the front line first, and then just charge in against the knights. But yeah, I think it went well in the end. There's no right or wrong. Like Wicked going so aggressive with his big monsters actually made DAHV think that Wicked was like probably playing badly. So he was like, oh yeah, 3 kills, a frostworm out in the open, another one, and also Wulfric. What could possibly go wrong? Like, let's drop with everything we've got, kill them fast and get out, then finish off the rest. But then the Deathcaster came and just dropped a fat big purple sun, and GG, like salute. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Like it was all it all came down to just one spell really, and just the debuffs from the frostworms and Wulfric just making it and surviving. For DAHV, I think he was kind of experimenting because, as I said, this is a really tough build for tough matchup for Bretonnia. What I usually have tried lately is actually go with high magic, Curse of the Midnight Wind and stuff like that, because I'm trying to go for high mobility against Norsca, and the reason for that is I also bring 4 mounted yeoman archers, because I think they're really good. If you combine them with Curse of the Midnight Wind, they can shoot down Fimir, they can shoot down like mammoths, they can just destroy them fairly easily. And these wolves, yeah, just a couple of cheap knights errant to protect the archers, and I think it works pretty well. Yeah, I'm trying to experiment with that a little bit. It's not something solid, and I'm not saying that it works. I'm trying still. Anyway, so that was it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. That was a really fun battle to watch, and yeah. Feel free to subscribe if you're not, and hit that notification button. Feel free to like and comment, and I'm gonna be seeing you next time. Bye bye.